In this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to make $680 in just 1 hour and actually changing someone's life in the process. If you don't know me, my name is Angelo Christmas, and this is me documenting my journey to $20,000 per month as a high ticket closer. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I'm going to be showing a bit of live footage of the actual call of me and this gentleman right here, who was someone that I won't say too much about the call, but I'm basically going to be showing the part of me understanding what's his goal and what actually held him back from making that happen so far, and helping him see that so that he can actually change that to ensure that this time around he actually does succeed instead of just fails like he's done in the past. So let's get into it. So with the end goal in mind for you, Rafael, what are you looking to achieve specifically working with Raz and the team?
Well, I'm kind of searching for a new income, and one of the I follow Res for a long time, and I decided to try this time the options that he provides to the subscribers, and it has a new, let me see, a new launch when he said that he can actually help funding the starters of YouTube channels, and I found that was a good idea. So I decided to try to dig more information about it, and that's why I scheduled this meeting.
So straight off the bat, when I asked him about his goals and what he wants to achieve, one of the first things he said is that he's been researching different methods to make money online. Now, obviously, on the surface, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, but that normally would indicate that this person has only been doing research, which means there's a reason that's preventing them from going from research to actually committing and starting something and taking action. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this guy, is probably has some kind of fear or hesitation around taking the next step, because it sounds like he's mainly been doing research. Obviously, I don't want to assume anything, but I'm just keeping that top of mind as I continue with the call. One thing I did notice on this call, I feel like I should have definitely called him out for not really being engaged with when he's talking to me. As you can see, he's like looking down, he's fiddling with something. I think the reason I didn't call it out because I just kind of assumed that it came across like he doesn't have much confidence, and he's sort of like a bit afraid or timid to have a deep conversation, which is why he wasn't making eye contact with me. So in the moment, I felt like it wouldn't have been good for me to address it. But looking back, I feel like I should have, because he's not really he's not really feeling the conversation. It's kind of like he's not really talking to me. He's kind of distracted. But I still close him at the end of it. But it's just something I'm picking up on now that I can improve on moving forward. So let's continue though. Okay. How long have you been following Rise for? I know you said it's been quite a while.
I think 6 to 8 months, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay, so quite some time, almost about a year now. Got you. But like, what's the outcome you want from obviously understanding how it works? You're doing this. Like, what's the goal you want to achieve personally? So yeah, after me asking him the first question, what does he want to achieve? He didn't really answer the question, to be fair. So now I'm just re-asking it so that we can actually have a clear idea of what this guy wants to achieve in his life.
But I didn't thought about that in terms of the amount. I'm just trying to invest in new ways of income, and see uh, what's going to, to to occupy most of my time, and to have the best results. So I'm trying different things, and didn't work. And now I'm going to try YouTube automation, and I felt that Raj has a solid background, and I decided to
Okay.
to,
And
to dig more.
that's obviously a red flag because he wants to achieve the goal of making money online, but he doesn't even know how much he wants to make. So now I'm going to challenge him on that to sort of figure out what's causing him to, do that and see what his thought process is. Why do you feel like you haven't thought about what's the goal you want to achieve though in doing something like this? What's behind that?
Honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of working for others, and I decided that tired in all the senses, physically tired, and I don't have
Mhm.
time for me and my family. And
Awesome.
I think that today we have different kind of jobs or works that we can do and be more productive without
Mm.
using all of our time. So I think it's time to dedicate more for my health and my
Mm. I
family.
agree. I agree.
And
What is it that you do for work at the moment? So he didn't actually, I feel like he didn't understand the question. And because of the accent difference between us, he's from Brazil. I thought it wouldn't have been worth it for me to still challenge him on that. So since he mentioned some pain about why he's not happy in the situation, I just ran with that, and I'm going to expand on that a bit now. And then Rafael.
I work in a bank.
In a bank, okay. And I mean, typically, the usual person would be okay, working a normal job, having to work in a bank, at the job. Why are you tired of that, or what specifically is happening there that makes you feel like you don't want to keep doing that? So he already gave me a few reasons as to why he's not happy, but now I'm just getting him to sell me on the fact that he doesn't want to work anymore. He's not happy. So I'll basically want him to tell me, crystal clearly why is he not happy with continuing to do that.
I think we have uh, little influence on what you can decide would be the best way to contribute with the work. We have to follow others and orders of others. And I think that if you have your own business, you have more liberty to travel, to follow a path that you think and know that you have more success.
Mm. What I'm trying to understand for you, like, what's behind the fact that you don't want to keep, taking orders from people, working a normal job? Because like starting a business is great, but it's going to require time, energy, money, effort to get there, So what's driving you to want to make that change instead of just working a normal job like, most of the world?
When you work for others, you can give 110% of your energy and you have the same paycheck. So if you're doing your own business, it's kind of more effort that you apply on, more
Mm.
is the potential of the return. So you see that is something that you, you make it happen. I think
I see. So from what I'm
look
hearing, you're at
for
a point where, you don't want to be following other people's orders and you don't want to be putting all this time, effort into someone else's thing. You now want to dedicate that energy to your own business. Is that right?
yes,
Okay.
something like that.
And obviously, like, I don't expect you to quit your job tomorrow, right, Rafael? Right? But like, in
The
order for you to take that step, how much do you need to be making on a monthly basis to leave your job and actually, take that leap? So now we got a better idea of what's happening in his life. He doesn't want to work anymore. Now, when I ask him how much he wants to make, then it's harder for him to say he doesn't know. Because now he needs to say at least what he's currently making or more for him to quit his job. What's the goal?
let me do the conversion. I think being something like 4 or 5K US
Okay.
dollars.
Okay, so say like 5K. So once you're making 5K consistently, you feel like you'd be able to, leave the job and just focus on your business full time. Okay,
Yes.
sweet. That's doable, brother. How long have you been wanting to make that kind of change? Not necessarily do YouTube automation, but just not have to work a job, have more freedom in your life. How long have you been wanting to do that for?
Think for the past 2 years, this thought came into my head, and I decided to search for new ways of income.
So now we got a clear idea of what he wants to achieve, how long he's wanted that for. Now it's just about digging into what sort of things he's tried, if anything, and why he hasn't actually been able to achieve that level of success. Not an excuse, something that's on him, like full ownership, reason as to why he didn't make it work. And then help him see that and get his commitment to change that moving forward. So it's basically finding the bottleneck that's been holding him back from seeing the success he wants to see in his life. Mm. Okay, so for about a few years now, I got you.
Mhm.
And over the past few years for you, like what sort of things have you tried when it comes to making money online or starting your own online business, if anything? What sort of things have you tried?
I tried drop shipping and uh, selling web apps online, and it didn't
Okay.
work.
It was just
So
those two things you tried. Is that right?
yes,
Okay. And what sort of results did you see with those things? Like how much money did you end up making?
I think it was just spending money, not
Just
making
spending
money.
money. Got you. So you didn't really see any sort of, success with those things. Is that right?
No.
Okay. And I guess with any business model you do, Rafael, right? I'm not here to tell you that, YouTube automation is the only way for you to make $5,000 a month, right? Because like any business model can work because like businesses don't fail, people fail, you know? So
Mhm.
with that in mind, what do you feel has been holding you back internally from being able to, make $5,000 a month and quit your job? Like what's been holding you back internally?
I think it's most of the time that my job uh, requires of me. So I have little time to dedicate on other things.
So now we're getting into like the meaty parts of the conversation about what's truly been holding this person back, and what you'll find is that typically it won't come out the first time. Like as you say, now he didn't have the time, his job has been busy. It's all these bullshit excuses, right? And whether they're valid or not, that's not serving him. So I'm here to help him see that fuck that. It's not that you didn't have the time, it's that you didn't prioritize the time and you didn't put in the effort required to make it work even though you were busy. Because like if I let this slide and he let him think that the only reason he's not successful is because he didn't have the time, what do you think is going to happen at the end of the call when I'm asking him to drop $7,000 into a program that's going to require a time commitment? So that's why it's important to get ahead of these things now to help them reframe their own selves to realize, hey, it's not that I didn't have the time, it's more so that I wasn't able to prioritize this and actually let go of whatever's been holding me back from finding the time. So that's basically what's going through my mind now, and what I'm going to help him see in the next couple minutes.
Outside the normal job. That's one of the reasons I'm getting physically tired also.
Mm, I see. Okay, and that's fair because, like, obviously, it can be a lot challenging when you have less time. But can I share a perspective on that, Rafa?
Okay.
Like, if you knew with 100% certainty you wouldn't fail, do you feel like you would have found the time to succeed and to put the effort in to make it work?
Yes.
Exactly. So, like, with that in mind, like, so him agreeing to that basically it's basically him saying what I just said about not having the time is bullshit. Because if he knew he would be successful, he would have found the time, right? So that means he could have found the time if he tried hard enough. Knowing that you're always going to have a hard time with the time because you're still working a job. What's the underlying reason that you feel like you didn't find the commitment to put the time in towards making it happen sooner? Like what held you back internally?
That's a good question. Uh, I think that uh, in those past two years, I was also worried about getting my house, let's say, organized. So I moved and I have to make a lot of things in my house. And now I think this part of the construction is over. So
Mm.
I can dedicate a little more time. So I decided to see new ways of income.
Mm.
And I
Okay.
think the motivation of getting over and over the same thought of I need to change what I do now. I think
Mm.
it's became urgent and I think I go to sleep every day thinking about it. So
Really?
it's become more frequently. So I need to put an effort because I think
Mm.
my routine also is converging to this
Mm. I see.
setup.
So that was a bullshit answer. He first said another time, then I asked him again in a different way. He said that, oh, he had a house, the construction, that was taking up some of his, bandwidth, and now that he has more time, that's why he's ready, right? But that's still not good enough because he's still outsourcing the reason why he's not successful. It's because he don't have time. It's because he was busy with the house. Those are all external reasons which are not good enough to actually move someone to make not just a decision at the end of the call, but to actually change their life once they follow through. So now I need to keep digging. I need to actually get to the real bottleneck of what's been holding him back and help him see that and get him to commit to overcoming that. I see. Damn, man. And knowing that you've known Raz for about 6 to 8 months, like you mentioned, what do you feel maybe stopped you from, taking this step 6 months ago? What do you feel made you wait, until doing it now? Like what sort of has been holding you back if you were to reflect, internally?
I reflected about it because before I take a step, I kind of do a research, see the potential and the results that the people say that they have. And you see Instagram, it's full of
Hmm.
masks in front, so I have to make sure that it, make sure no, but
Hmm.
kind of see the risks and put it to the balance. So
Yeah.
we have to have this time to research and not just jump in the the, uh, the options to see if it's going to work or not. So if you do this research, I think
Got you. That's
it's
fair. Obviously, you need. Now we're getting a bit more deeper into what's been holding you back, which, as you can hear, doing more research, making sure it's the right step. It's risky. There's people online that aren't real. Now we're seeing that it's fear. So now it's just about helping him see that too. Need to make sure it's the right step, but like if we were to be honest with each other, I felt 6 months is a long time to like only be doing research. And I know you're here today because you want to make a change, but like what do you feel maybe after doing research? Because at some point you probably had an idea that Raz can help you. What do you feel stopped you from going from researching to implementing and taking action? Because anyone can do all the research in the world, but what's more important, like doing research or committing and actually taking action on something, which is going to get you to the goal?
the commitment.
Exactly. So, what do you feel prevented you from actually committing and taking action sooner instead of, you know, only doing research these past 8 months?
I think just the fear of another failure because I tried
Mm.
the two
Boom.
business before
There we
and the
go.
failure. So I think we have this thought of if you have a recent failure, you'll be less stimulated to do another attempt. So you have to give yourself some time to
True.
the next step.
And the fear of another failure. So now we've identified the true bottleneck of what's holding this person back. Because initially it was time, initially it was the house, initially it was doing research and making sure someone's right. But the fear of failure trumps all of those external reasons. Because if he wasn't afraid of failing, he would have found the time. He wouldn't have let the house hold him back from starting. He wouldn't waste 8 months doing research, knowing that he can actually make a change and just commit to leveling up. So that's why it's so important to find the true reason, the underlying reason of what's been holding someone back on an internal level, something that they can control, not external stuff. Because now that we've identified this, and now that we're helping him see that that's the only thing holding him back, it will make not just make your call better, but it's helping the prospect so much because it's helping him see that there's no benefit holding on to that fear anymore. You know, this allows you to get ahead of these objections early in the call, so that it leads to an objectionless close. Right? Listen to the words that came out of his mouth: the fear of another failure. That's huge. You know, and you being able to have this conversation now before money's involved, before emotions are high, before they're in fight or flight mode allows them to actually see things in a clear way and help you reframe them effectively, you know. And obviously it took him a while to get there, and but we got there in the end. So now that we've identified the bottleneck, let's see how I help him see that that's not helping him, holding on to that, and see how I was able to help him commit to overcoming that. I really appreciate the honesty about that, Raphael, because like that fear of failure, it overpowers everything else you've already said, like the time, you know, the commitment. Because like once we let go of that fear, then you're gonna find the time, then you're gonna take action, then you will become successful, you know. But
Yeah.
the other side of the coin is, if like, think of it like this, like if you continue to let that fear of failure hold you back from taking action, would you ever be able to get to 5K per month and quit your job? Or do you feel like you would need to overcome the fear?
Yeah, that's the moment that I am now, man. So the fear is not dominant, and I think I can
Mm.
organize myself to do another attempt and see if other business would work.
Okay, that's good, brother, because like it's good that you've identified that, and also it's good that you realize you're ready to overcome it. However, it's still going to be scary. At the end of this call, it's still going to be scary for you to take that step, you know? So like what I found is really helpful is to consider what would happen for you if you continue to let the fear hold back. Like what's that going to cost you moving forward in your life if, you know, nothing changes? What would happen then?
Well, no, I said it, nothing will change. I will be at the same spot that I am today.
Mm. And that transition you're looking to make, Rafael, which is going from where you are now, working a normal 9 to 5. Because you already had clarity about, you know, overcoming the fear, I didn't dig too deep. Normally, I would like ask him, hey, what's it been costing you in the past? What's it been costing you in the future? Dig a bit deeper, you know, get more clarity. But since he already seemed very like self-aware, I didn't go as deep as I would have normally went. Right. Could have though. It wouldn't have hurt the call. It would have been better if I did. But I just felt the need. I just didn't feel it was necessary. So now I basically identify the bottleneck, help him realize that if he doesn't overcome that, he won't be successful, and also asked him, what's it gonna be like for you if you let the fear hold you back? And you know, like he said, it's gonna have him in the same position. Overcoming the fear and actually having your own online business, it is scary, but that's the exact same transition we help people make every single day, right? So do you feel like you are ready now to actually overcome the fear and make that transition in your own life?
Oh, absolutely. And something about the failures that when you fail for the first time, I think is scarier. But the
Yeah.
second and the third time you are used to, and you know that's not the end of the world, and you can do it again,
Mm.
and you just need to make it right once. And so
100%.
you have to
That's
keep trying until
that's
it works.
that's so true, Rafael. Because like I used to see it as failures, but now in my journey too, whenever I, you know, hit a failure, I just see it as feedback. You know, even like you, when you try dropshipping and other stuff, it's not actually a failure. It's just feedback, right? Because you get to learn from it and improve and move forward. You know, because
Uh-huh.
even all the successful people you may look up to, right, in the world, they all have failed many times in the past, but they never stopped. Right? They kept
Yeah.
going. You know, that's the only secret. So I'm just curious for you, brother, like why now though are you finally ready to overcome the fear and actually commit to getting to 5K a month and quitting your job? So there we have it. That's basically the part of the call I wanted to share. And I just basically, you know, got his goal, how long he's been wanting to do that, what's truly been holding him back. No excuses, no bullshit answers. The real, true reason. Helped him commit to overcoming that and ask him why now is he finally ready to make that happen. You know, that's basically where a majority of this sale was made, right? Obviously, there is a lot that went into the rest of the call, you know, exploring his current situation, how it's been affecting him, future pace, what it's going to look like when he finally gets to the goal, and also consequence. What's his life going to be like 5-10 years from now if nothing changes? You know, who else is that going to affect in his life? That's obviously the rest of the call and what it entailed. But this is the clip I wanted to share in today's video. And let me also share the ending of the call as well, just to sort of show that he actually did close, and once I got the payment from him. So if you see here, this is all the call. I'll just show you the ending part that I got the payment from him. And there was no objections, by the way. Like, he didn't give me any objections. The only objection was the logistics, because he didn't have the full investment, but he still wanted to do it, and we overcame that to make sure it makes sense for him. So if you see here, this is the ending of the call. Together. That'll be cool. Cool. It looks like that payment came through, Rafael. Once again, congratulations, brother, for taking the step. I can't wait to see you absolutely crush it with us. So close. So there you have it. Within an hour, I was able to not just make $680, but also change someone's life. Help them actually make a meaningful change in their life. I know that Rafael here is going to come in and he's going to do what it takes to succeed with the program I've just sold him, and as a benefit of that, he's going to change his life, and in the next 6-12 months, however long it takes, he's going to be able to quit his job. And that's something that's truly fulfilling for me, because I used to be Rafael. I used to be that guy that would do tons of research, try different things, fail, not know why, until I saw the breakthrough in my own life. Until I was able to overcome my own fears, my own doubts, my own limitations, and actually just fucking commit to something and do whatever it takes to see the breakthrough I saw, which for me was quitting my 9-to-5. And ever since I've been able to do that, I've been like a whole different person, because I've wanted that for so long, and when you finally do it, it's like, it's life-changing, man. And then there's obviously new mountains to climb, so that's it for today's video, man. Once again, thank you so much for sticking through today, and hope you enjoyed this, and hope you found some value in this. And as always, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have an amazing day, take care, and stay safe.